What's up, my little goblins? Welcome back to my channel. It's Remy. I have some stuff going on, so I figured I'd do a short, quick little video, and I also have a longer video that I'm going to be posting, hopefully either at the end of this month or the beginning of next month. But I decided, because Miss Sabrina Carpenter has gotten popular recently since she went on tour with Taylor Swift, and her new song Espresso and Please 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 came out, that I do a video giving book recommendations based on Sabrina Carpenter songs. I've always loved Sabrina Carpenter. When I went to her concert last year, in the beginning of 2023, like, anytime I tell anybody, oh, I'm going to a Sabrina Carpenter concert, they're like, who's that? Who is that? And so then at the end of that year, she started touring on the Eras Tour with Taylor Swift, and everybody knew who she was now. And I'm so glad that everybody knows how amazing she is, and her music is just so good. So I decided that I was going to do that today. So I have 8 book recommendations for you guys. These right here. So I don't know, because I can't sing the songs because then they get copyrighted. So I might figure out how to do it in editing, where they do the like wavy voice. I don't know how to do that, so I'll figure it out. And if I don't figure it out, then you'll get me just voiceovering it. The first book recommendation, which is, oh, well, let's start with the song first. Let's do the song first. We're gonna do the song first. So the song is called Why by Sabrina Carpenter, and the lyrics that is like the chorus part is the reason why I chose this one. Tell me how we're not alike, but we work so well and we don't even know why. Funny how the stars crossed, right? Because we work so well and we don't even know why. I think I'm just going to do it like that instead of trying to figure out how to sing it, because I feel a little awkward. So I love these lyrics, but it reminded me, because I was just kind of looking through her song and looking at the lyrics and see what like books and characters popped into my head. So these lyrics reminded me of Reed and Lou from the first Serpent and Dove book. So this book is about a witch and a witch hunter, and they are in a marriage of convenience, and there's also a one bed trope, and they are so cute, and I just love them. They're so cute, and I'm about to finish the series. Actually, it's a trilogy, and I highly recommend this if you love romantasy, if you love, kind of enemies to lovers. Not really. They kind of like come across each other, and then he's trying to like catch her, and she like makes this whole scene in front of people. So because she makes this whole scene, it's in like France, and back in the day where like you got to keep your woman in line, you know what I'm saying? So she makes a scene in front of all these people, and because of that, they had to pretend that they were married, and she like was like acting out. So they actually had to get married. So yeah. I love this series. I love the characters. The first book is so funny and comfy and like high stakes in a way. The second book is way more high stakes, less comfy, more emotional. But this first book has my entire heart. So the next song is Skinny Dipping by Sabrina Carpenter. It was on her Emails I Can't Send album, which is the tour I went to last year. And when I was listening to these lyrics, it reminded me of these characters, so I'm going to go ahead and tell them to you now. Say them to you. Say them. I don't know.
We've been swimming on the edge of a cliff. I'm resisting, but going down with the ship. It'd be so nice, right? If we could take it all off and just exist. And skinny dipping, water under the bridge.
I like that song. Anyways, so it reminded me of Macy and Elliot from Love and Other Words. I know that this book was super popular when Book Talk was first around, so you probably have either already read it or know what it is. If you don't, know what it is or haven't read it yet, I highly recommend. It's a second chance romance, childhood best friends to lovers. And basically something happens and they haven't seen or spoken to each other in like 11 years. And then she runs into him at a coffee shop, and you kind of just have to, everything kind of unravels and like feelings come back up, and it's so good. I have a special edition copy. Right up here, you can see it. I love this book. It's literally, it got me back into reading because I used to read all the time, and I stopped for a while. I was like in like a book slump kind of, I guess, for that took upon like a year or a couple years. So I was like, oh, I want to get back into reading. Like, I always considered romance my guilty pleasure because everyone sees romance as like a bland genre, but because it's been so popular recently, people actually can like it more. But yeah, I could highly recommend this. I'm actually in the middle of annotating it. I stopped because one of the pages got loose and I was scared to keep going, so I'm waiting till I can fix that so that I can finish annotating this. And I think I might buy a copy and annotate it for a friend. But yeah, this is amazing. And I love this cover. I don't really like the new cover, but maybe you could find this cover on maybe a Pango or something, but I'm not really sure. I don't think you can find this cover anymore. Did I say that was by Christina Lauren? I love Christina Lauren, by the way. Actually, the next two books are Christina Lauren. So anyway, so the next song is her newest song, Please, Please, Please. So it's going to be on her new short and sweet album. I'm so excited for. But the chorus obviously is, well, the chorus is what I'm thinking about when I read this. So
please, please, please don't prove I'm right. And please, please, please don't bring me to tears when I just did my makeup so nice. Heartbreak is one thing, my ego's another. I beg you don't embarrass me, motherfucker.
I'm singing this wrong, but I'm singing it out of tune to throw them off. Anyway, so this course reminded me of a couple different characters, but I was thinking of this character specifically from this Christina Lauren book. So the book I was thinking of was The Soulmate Equation by Christina Lauren. It really reminded me of Jess because she was so scared to get back into a relationship. She felt like she was kind of betraying her kid, and she didn't want to get back into a relationship and then it'd be a fail, basically, like a flop. She didn't want to be in a relationship, and then then her kid get attached to her partner, and then he leaves, and she didn't want her child, Juno, to experience any type of abandonment. So she was really scared to get into a relationship. So when she met River, she like, there's a scene in this, you'll understand when you read it why I specifically thought of them in this song, but there's a scene that I that's all I can picture in my head when I like listen to these lyrics when I was thinking about books and stuff. So I highly recommend. I love this book. I love her best friend. I love the guy in this book. I love her kid. I love everything in this book. Please, please, please read it. Okay. So the next song is Perfect by Sabrina Carpenter on her Singular Act 1 album. So it's this is like the chorus part.
Like A, B, C, D, that could work so perfectly if perfect was the kind of thing that worked in me. But I wanna feel nervous, just a little bit on the edge. Even if I know that I will end up in a mess. Like, it won't be perfect, but I know, it could be worth it. For all the nights I left my tears running down my face.
I fucked up. I lost the tune. But it's okay. You get what I'm saying.
Messing up my mascara. It's not perfect, but maybe that's what we need.
So that reminded me of the second book to the Soulmate Equation, which is The True Love Experiment, which is about her best friend Felicity. And her best friend Felicity is a romance author, and she kind of lost her spark after seeing like River and Jess had this like such amazing like book-worthy romantic relationship. She kind of like lost hope in like her. Okay, the camera stopped. I really need a new camera. Anyway, so after witnessing River and Jess's relationship, she kind of like wanted that for herself, and she was also in the other book dating a guy, and a lot of things go wrong, and she kind of like lost her hope in love, really. And she's a very promiscuous character in the first book. She's very casual about just dating and casual sex and experiencing things. So after that happened with that guy, she was very kind of felt lost, really. Like she lost her like spark. She had a little bit of a dry spell with herself. Like she normally could see a guy in a bar and go up and talk to him with no problem and all the confidence in the world and intending to like, you know, take him home. But she said that after that, it just kind of all felt pointless, and she felt like there was something wrong with her, and she didn't think she could write romance anymore because of this. And then she gets pulled by Connor Prince III is his name. He is a British producer that works in LA for a production company, and he normally does like documentary style things, but his production company wanted to take a shift and go into reality TV. So he basically wanted to make a reality TV show based off one of her books, mainly the book that's about Jess and River and about the technology. Oh, I didn't even explain. So like basically the soulmate equation is about this genetic company that River created that uses your genetics to find your perfect match. So it's called DNA Duo. You put in your spit and they match your genetics with people. And I guess, I don't know, they explain it in the book kind of. I don't really know it very well. Basically, they use your genes to find your perfect match, really. And so they were the highest match you could ever get that has ever come up in their research and people submitting, you know, their DNA. Jess and River were. So then they wanted this. So then she was like, I don't want to be in a relationship. I was just doing it because Felicity made me, blah, blah, blah. And then they were like, okay, well, we'll pay you to pretend to date him for publicity, basically. So yeah, they like, this is like a fake dating trope kind of. So yeah, I didn't explain that. But basically that follows through into this book when she's on this dating show. So all of the men that are going to be like basically courting her in this show has done the DNA duo. And so basically they find out at the end who they fall for if the DNA duo matches, you know, the freaking correct guy or something. I don't know. It honestly is kind of in the background of this book, but yeah. So basically, they get to know each other and, you know, like hang out and do stuff, and they fall for each other, and it's really cute, and I love it, and you should definitely read it. It's so cute. Felicity was one of my favorite characters from the first book, so getting this book was so good. It was so good. You need to read it. Okay, so the next song is Honeymoon Fades. That's what it's called, right? Honeymoon Fades by Sabrina Carpenter. So the beginning is what kind of like got me into this book. So I'm going to sing the beginning part.
Unexpected, this thing that we fell into, like so connected. You came at a time when my heart was selective. Didn't have to choose, my love was accepted. Yeah, now I'm learning you like one-on-one. You were sent to me like a one of one. And now we're going hard just one-on-one. Nobody else. I hope we never change. I hope we stay the same. I hope that we can love through the pain after the honeymoon fades.
So that, and then it goes into the chorus, but that part really, really, really reminded me of The Simple Wild by Kay Tucker. So basically, her name is Calla. I forgot her name. Her name was Calla. I just remember the story and the characters, and I remember the guy's name. I literally forgot her name. Her name is Calla, and she basically lives in Toronto, and she lives with her parents. She is, I don't know how old she is. Like, she's 26. Yes, she's 26. She lives with her parents. She's in like college, or she's like does like a fashion blog with her friend, and I think she has a job. I can't really remember because a lot of the book wasn't even in Toronto. So that's just kind of her background. And so basically, she has her estranged father. So her mother and her father were together, and they divorced when she was like 2, and he didn't want, they divorced when she was like 2, and then her mom moved her to Toronto, and she has not really seen him since. And she talked to him on the phone until she was, I think, 12, and then ever since then, she hasn't even talked to him on the phone since then. And then she gets a call to find out that her father has cancer, and he's gonna die, basically. Like, he has stage 4 cancer. So she goes to Alaska, which is where he lives, and fully intending to try and mend this relationship with her estranged father. And she ends up meeting Jonah, who is a very, very angry bush pilot. Is this bush pilot, right? That's what they say. That's what it's called. Anyway, he's a pirate. He's a pilot in Alaska. And he doesn't like her because he thinks she's some, like, preppy city girl, which, granted, when she first got there, she was. She had, like, so much stuff and, like, dressed like she was on a fashion blog because that's what she runs, a fashion blog. And so she's staying in Alaska basically to mend her relationship with her father, and she meets Jonah, and they hate each other at first, but Jonah is like a son to her father. Like, I think he has his own relationship with his parents, or his parents died or something. I cannot remember. But he saw him as like a father figure, basically. So she basically had to deal with him because he also worked for her father. Her father owns a pilot company in Alaska. Pilot company. What? Oh my god. Because, Alaska, a lot of their stuff, has to be flown because, it's Alaska. Anyway, so, it's a great description. Anyway, so, basically, her and Jonah start, like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it without spoiling anything, but they start hanging out because they have to, and then they kind of just start tolerating each other and like messing with each other and kind of fall for each other. It's really good. It's a series. Actually, didn't know that until after I read it. So it's a series. The first 3 books, I think, are about Calla and Jonah. And I think the last book is about this girl that was Jonah's ex that, like, still was in love with Jonah and, like, watched Jonah fall in love with this girl. And so now she has to move on, which I'm probably not going to read her book because I didn't really like her in this book. Even though you don't see her that much in this book, but just the way she acts, I don't really like her in this book. But, yeah. This book is good. Read it. Alright, so this song is Almost Love by Sabrina Carpenter, and I really thought of this book, and this book is kind of sad, just forewarning, but it very much reminded me of these characters. Okay, I don't remember the tune of this, so I'm just gonna say it. Speed this up because I'm excited. No more taking it slow. No more taking it slow. Almost love, it's almost love. Almost love, it's almost love. But it could be love, almost love. So, I love this song, by the way. Just the tune is just not in my head, I think, because I sung the other ones. But this is also on her Singular Act 1 album. But it reminded me of Taylor Jenkins Reid, Forever Interrupted. This is a Taylor Jenkins Reid book, the first Taylor Jenkins Reid book that I've ever read. And no, I've never heard anybody talk about it, but I saw it in the store and I was interested in it, so I bought it. So basically it's about Elsie and Ben, and they kind of had a insta-lovey type of relationship, and they end up getting married within 3 months of being together. And then then they move in together and whatever, and like, I think, what is it, like right after they get married or something, because they elope. So right after they get married, he dies. And then she has to meet his mother for the first time. And his mother had no clue that they were together, no clue that they were married. And so she kind of has to convince this woman that she's not just some random, like, bitch, you know, trying to take his shit. So it's and then you have to watch her grieve this, like, love that she had. And it's really sad. I mean, honestly, it's a Taylor Jenkins Reid book, so it's very literary fiction. There's very character driven. There's not really a plot. But you kind of watch this woman grieve this man that she was so in love with for a short period of time, that she like imagined her future with, and it was all gone in like literally an instant. And she kind of blames herself because he went out to go and get something for her when he died. He got hit by a car. Okay, the camera stopped again. I promise you guys, I'm going to be getting a new camera, but I have some stuff going on right now, so I can't get a new camera right now, but I promise you I will be getting a new camera. Anyway, basically, it's a lot. You should read it. It's really good. If you like character-driven books, if you like books about grief, honestly, I kind of like this trope because watching someone, like, grieve, I don't know, it's like, it's something that's so interesting to me, and it makes me emotional. I don't know, I like emotional books, so if you like those kind of books, I recommend this book, and it's good. I gave it a 4. It's really good. So the next song is also on her Singular Act 1 album. It is called Sue Me. I love this song. So this is the chorus.
So sue me for looking too pretty tonight, wearing your favorite color under the lights, but moving on and doing everything right. So sue me for being good friends with your friends, for running into you the place that we met, for being something that you can't forget. So sue me.
I love that song. Anyway, it reminded me of Daphne from Funny Story, because basically, if you haven't read this book yet, Daphne and Miles, is that his name? What's his name? Yes, Miles. Anyways, so Daphne and Miles, they're roommates. This is a roommates type of book. She was engaged to Peter, and he was dating what's her face, some other bitch, and Peter and that bitch were best friends, so they knew each other because of that. And then their partners broke up with them to get with each other. So Peter and the other bitch broke up with them to get with each other, right before Daphne and Peter were supposed to get married. And then because of that, they had a house together and everything. He had a whole house with her and freaking broke up with her for some stupid bitch. Anyway, so because of this, he has a free room in the apartment and can't afford it. I think he can afford it. I don't know. She basically asks, "Hey, I have nowhere to live because my family's not from here. I moved here for Peter. So can I live with you?" So basically, that's what happens. She ends up moving in with him, and that bitch ends up moving in with Peter. And then, you know, if you can tell by the song, you can tell what happens. You know, you'll understand the song. A scene in my head, the scene in my head, remind me of this song so bad. Specifically, the sign for being something you cannot forget. I literally read this book. This is so good. It is my top 2. In my top 2 favorite Emily Henry books. Book Lovers will always be the top tier, but this right under that, like a hair under that. It is so good. So the last and final song is Espresso. it's Espresso. So the beginning of Espresso.
Now he's thinking about me every night. Oh, is it that sweet? I guess so. Say you can't sleep, baby, I know that's that me espresso. Move it up, down, left, right, oh, switch it up like Nintendo. Say you can't sleep, baby, I know that's that me espresso.
My boyfriend's tired of hearing this song, but it reminded me of Nora from Book Lovers. So this is kind of like a work rivals to lovers, sort of. She talks about how they hate each other, and then they end up running into each other, and when she's on vacation in North Carolina, and so then they end up, like, I guess, talking and hanging out more and fall for each other. So this is really good. You get a lot of backstory on Nora and her life, and her sister's life, and you get a lot of sisterly, like I was saying, a lot of sisterly love and relationship and stuff, and they just kind of remind me of me and my little sister. So that's the reason why this has such a high, like, rating for me, and such a place in my heart. Like, I love this book, and I halfway annotated this as well. I need to go back and read it because I listened to the last half of this book on audiobook or on Spotify. So also, Julia Whalen narrates the audiobook for this. Julia Whalen needs to narrate every audiobook ever. Love that woman. Love her voice. I just love how she narrates, okay? And she needs to narrate every book ever that exists. Anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Stay tuned for more videos coming up soon. And, yeah, so, and exciting things are happening. And in the new video, you will figure it out. And not for you guys, but for me. For me, exciting things are happening. And I just hit the mic, and I'm so sorry. But, yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, all those wonderful things you guys do, the YouTube stuff. And also, thank you for the new, like, 10 or 9 subscribers I've got in the past, like, week or something. I don't know, my short that I made, like, blew up, and I gained some more subscribers. So welcome. Hi. And have a great rest of your week. Bye.